Let me just say, Terry, I don't know what the hell that was.
I don't either.
That was some kind of weird beginning, but I don't even know for what. That was like for me and Charles and Churchill Downs or something.
Yeah.
I know I put the right one in there, but when I clicked the button, that's what we got. So I guess it's par for the course for this Monday, especially for you. And now my internet's already acting funky. So
oh boy,
it's going to be a funny Monday, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so.
So got a little bit of rain and a little bit of wind out in California, and they can't keep the power on. I mean, what's going on out on the left coast?
Yeah, it went off, but it was only off for like 20 minutes. But it's been going off and on, off and on. Then we lose our internet when the power don't go off. We lose our internet or our phone service. It's just not been good. They had to evacuate a lot of places they haven't evacuated in the past before. They said we have more rain so far this year, just in this last 2 weeks, than we did all last year. But
well, they say California needs the rain anyway, right? You guys have been in a drought for 40 years or something?
Yeah, we do, but we don't need it all at once like this because it's really causing a lot of problems.
Anybody outside building arcs?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I heard the guy across the street with the hammers going to the saws and everything else. And
when you see the animals coming 2 by 2, you better you better say your penance and head on over there. Yeah. Scary Creation says, "How did I do in the tournaments?" Well, I had one of those days on Friday. I didn't do too well. I was hitting some winners. I just couldn't string them together. Then on Friday night, I came home. I went through all the Gulfstream. I just looking at Gulfstream. Weather forecast for a lot of places is supposed to be a little bit crappy. So I decided to do Gulfstream on Saturday, focus on that. I had a little voice in my head telling me, play the early pick 5, play the early pick 4. And well, of course, you have a $200 budget. And if I had done the early pick 5 and pick 4, it would have used up most of my budget. But guess what? I hit both of them, but I didn't play them. I was playing rolling pick 3s. And I was in 7th place for most of it. Then I started really trying to stretch to get people. And, I lost, I don't know, like about $80 on the day or something like that. It was just so disappointing because I had so many pick 3s and pick 4s where I had a 5-1, a 7-1, a 9-1 that would win the first leg, the second leg. And you're going to get there and you're going to get a nice payout. Like the pick 3s to the horse I have coming up in the third leg were like $300-400. So, if you hit the pick 4, it's going to pay. And then I would lose one leg. And then, of course, in the leg, I would lose the third leg or the fourth leg. And then when I would lose, the horse that would would be the longest shot I had on my ticket. Yeah. So it was just driving me bananas, right?
Yep.
Yes, today, Jay Marco mentioned, so we might as well segue a little bit before we get cracking on the Parx picks because I'm kind of hoping my internet settles. That's why I'm stalling a little bit. But our good friend Jay Marco, who should trademark, see you in the winner's circle, says tonight a big show. We do have on Deshaun Parker. He'll be here to answer all of our questions, as Jay Marco says. And Deshaun is one of the winningest jockeys ever, probably one of the tallest jockeys ever, too. So make sure you tune in tonight with our good friends Sean and Julie Ramjeet, as they will say hello to Sean Parker at 8 o'clock tonight. Deshaun Parker, 8 p.m. this evening. On Horse Center. You can make sure you don't miss that show by hitting the subscribe button while you're on YouTube. Follow us on our social sites at Horse Race the number 2 Day. Help us get to 10,000 across the board this year by making sure you subscribe. Tell your friends about us. All right, Terry. Enough about handicapping contests where the big fish gets away. Nothing to mount on my board just yet, but I did learn a couple of lessons, I have to say. One lesson I've come to the conclusion is either single the favorite or toss it altogether because they just cost you money, and 70% of the time they don't win. And I remember reading a book about poker where the guy says if your hand is good enough to bet, don't check, bet, right? If you're going to stay in the pot because it puts pressure on the other side. Well, my new thinking is if the favorite's not good enough to single, get rid of it because it's going to lose 70% of the time.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see how that plays out today if I can adhere to my own advice. So race number 1 is 6 furlongs. It's a maiden claiming 10,000, Terry. The purse is $22,000. At 6 furlongs, despite the bias does favor horses with a little bit of early speed. kind of want to stay off of that rail, that 6 furlongs, Terry. If we take a quick look at our sheet here, when we look to see, I got the wrong thing up. We got all of our picks up. In race number 1, we do have a scratch. The 5 horses out, but we can get a sense of who's going to be where when the gates open. What do you see?
Yeah, absolutely. I see that the 2 and the 7 are going to really try to go out to the front, along with the 5 is scratched now. So they'll probably try to go to the front. And I think if it's been running like it's been running last week, the speed will hold up. So, and look at that overlay on that too. It's going to be 15 to 1 a morning line. Who knows if you'll really get that. Anyway, and also on the 7, it's supposed to be less than even money, and it's listed at 4 to 1. Having that number 5 scratched will actually cause these odds to go down for these 2 horses. So,
yeah, right now it looks like that 7 horse is a 3 to 2 favorite, and that right there that says that should be maybe under 1 to 1. So that 3 to 2, you might be getting a good deal. Again, Terry mentioned that the 5 horse scratching could have an impact on this race. It was a left arrow horse, so he's not going to be in this spot. That does open that 2 up to get to the front. Probably going to get to the front and have a real difficult time chasing this one down, although he's staying in the same class. The 4 is dropping in class, so that's what that arrow means there. So if he's dropping as an E horse, one that can go wire to wire, EP types can go wire to wire or play co-pilot. Ps are co-pilots, rarely if ever pilots. PCs can co-pilot or close, and Cs are your closers. The 1 is a first-time starter, so you do not know what you're going to get out of this, but it does look like a pretty evenly spread out race. Terry, you and I both see the 7 as the winner.
Yeah, that's right. They call me Mealy. She finished 3rd versus Tougher in her last race, has the highest last speed rating, and she drops in class today. And then number 6, her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And her jockey in the last 7 days has won 4 out of 14 starts. And then I like Aztec Queen, which is a first-time starter who has won 5 winners out of 8 starters and has 1 stakes winner. Then the trainer wins first-time starters 33% of the time. The breeding suits today's distance, and she has a really good jockey combination. And then my last pick here as my long shot is number 4. She drops in class today and should improve while returning to a sprint.
No bets for Terry. I like the 7 horse. They call me Lee. Did run the top last race speed figure down in class and has the best combination of early speed and late speed. Number 6, Arrogante, has a plus late pace edge. This one should be close to the front all the way around the track. And Terry and I flipped the 1 and the 4. I got the 4. Sirenetta, lone E-horse. Seen too many of these win if they don't look like it on paper. And what I mean by the lone E-horse is, again, looking over here, when you see a horse that's out there all by itself, I cannot tell you how many of those actually beat me on the weekend, Terry, and I would just kick on myself for not having them. And then finally, number 1, Aztec Queen. First-time starter in here. Quite frankly, I don't think there's a lot to beat, even with the 7, the 6, and the 4 in front of it. And I'm going to do a pick 3, 1, 4, 6, 7 with the 2, 7, 1. 2, 7, 10. And then I'm going to solo up the 1. I'm going to put into play my new philosophy of if you can't get off the favorite, single it. Otherwise, toss it. You ready to go on to race number 2, Terry?
Yes.
A second. Let me get us together here. Race 2 at Parx. Race 2 is 6 furlongs again. It's claiming 7,500. Non-winners of 2 lifetime. Purse is 22 grand. Again, at 6 furlongs, you want to have early speed. Kind of want to stay off the rail. Heated battle. It's a horse that might struggle a little bit based upon its post position. If we look at race number 2, Terry, we see that 2 horse, Bar on the Beach, will be the one that they have to pass at some point.
That's right. It looks like they're really going to go to the front from out of the gate. It gets a good start. But the 7 horse, the boss, the Voss, that Hoss.
That
anyway,
Hoss.
Yeah, we got some early speed also. So
must be from Chicago. That's how you say the boss around here. That Hoss.
That's right. So this
There's
one
no TH in Chicago. It's just duh.
Just duh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, this one might set right behind that 2 horse and get it right at the end there. And as far as overlays, it looks like the 3 horse has got a pretty good overlay. And also not too bad would be the 5 horse. So there you go.
Yeah, so just get a quick look at what you're looking at here. These are simulation odds, 1,000 races using speed figures. And this is 1,000 simulations based upon to see who gets to the front, early pace numbers. It gives us a sense if they ran 1,000 times, who would be on the lead 58% of the time. So 583 times. Bar on the Beach had the lead. And if you look at the odds, this is what the odds play out to. So, all right. Our way to the winner's circle for race number 2. You see it is a front-loaded race. A lot of horses on the front. Looks to me like the 2-horse has the most pace. So early speed at 9-point advantage at 4 furlongs and then a plus advantage. So it means it could be as much as 2 lengths ahead, maybe a length and a half ahead at the half-mile marker. On the way home, this 10-horse has a bunch of late speed. And if you combine early speed and late speed, it has a plus 9. I've been finding, Terry, that if they get close to 10, it's almost a horse that you can't overlook. Hopefully I didn't overlook them in here on my picks, but what do you got?
Okay, I'm starting out with that number 7. I think it's going to catch that 2-horse. And 7 drops in class today as a trainer wins 42% of the time when he drops a horse down 2 classes and has the highest speed figure today's distance. Then number 6 finished 3rd versus similar in his last race. And then the number 2, that speedster, Bar on the Beach, has a very early foot, should go to the front, and if nothing really pushes it, may go all the way. Then I like the 5 as my long shot. He drops in class today.
All right, so good morning, Barry. How are you today? Thanks for the no problem. If you have any questions at all throughout the course of the show, hit us up in the comment section. We're glad to answer any questions you have. Barry asks, what do you do when you $100 budget and you score in a race early in the card, double your budget? Should you stay and play the other races in the later card you wanted to bet, or should you take the money and run? So typically what I like to do when I'm actually betting and when I'm winning, I do have my bets laid out. I'll run through my bets. I'll put a little bit more money to work. So if I come to the track with a $100 budget, let's say, and I win and I'm up 100, I'll put that other 100 in my pocket so that I leave the track at least break even, so I don't go down for the day. And then I'll play my other bets. Hopefully I'll continue to build on that. And then as I win, I start to pocket money. So I have this left-right pocket thing where if I'm winning, I put the money I don't want to bet anymore in my left pocket. And if I'm then leave the money I'm going to bet in my right pocket if I'm playing cash. When I'm on my computer, for example, if I hit let's say I hit like a $300 trifecta or something like that, and I have other bets in there, I'll take that $300 out, send it home right away. So I know I can't spend that money. And then whatever happens with the rest of the money for the rest of the day, I'll up my bets and I'll start to expand them because I know I'm already profitable. So that's how I do it. Terry, how do you do it?
Well, I usually look at the rest of the day and see if there's horses that I really feel good about. If it's horses I don't feel all that good about, or it's kind of just average, I'll go home and take the wife out to dinner and tell her, look what I won here.
Yes, you got to get that good vibes for the gambling habit, right? Hey, look, you benefit too from my bad habits.
But I could also say if it's horses that I like, or a couple of them I like, I will increase my bet and use some of the track's money.
So in race 2, I like the 2-horse Bar on the Beach. Just has that really good early pace edge. Going to be tough to catch that one, I think. Good chance to add to that 24% that go wire to wire at 6 furlongs. Number 10, Dad's the Chef. Has that really strong late pace, early pace combination advantage. And I found when I do those numbers, anything that borders 10, you got to put it in your picks, even if it doesn't look like it on paper. Number 7, Dathos, trainer Cathal Lynch, winner of 6 of 14 when moving horses down multiple classes, and wins at 27% off, second off a layoff. And then finally, number 3, 2 Color Map. This one's moving down the class ladder after putting together better early pace numbers through the first half mile of its last race. I'm going to do a 50-cent pick 4, 2, 7, 10 here with the 1, with the 1, 3, 6, 7, with the 1, 4, 10, 11, and 12. And I think that works out the $30. I know that Terry will hold me to account once we're done and to make sure that I have not spent more than I'm allowed to, which I have done on occasion, which is kind of shocking for me because I'm like I'm the one that's everything is regimented.
Yep.
Race 3 is 7 furlongs, maiden claiming 25 grand, purse of 30 grand. 7 furlong profile a winner so far in 2023. They've run 10 of those races. Actually, 6 of them have gone, I think, wire to wire. That's a pretty big number, Terry.
It is.
1 through 7, the post positions play the same. 8 out, there's a little bit of a bonus. And if you're looking for the wire to wire horse, Terry, in race number 3, boy, that sure looks like the 5 horse, the Maze, and neither one of us have him.
No, I don't have it as my first pick. I actually have the number 4 as my first pick. And I think, he finished third versus similar to the last race, has the best start speed among today's starters. Then I like the number 1, Golden Wildcat. He finished third versus tougher in his last race and drops in class today, and he'll probably be the favorite. Then I like number 6, switches to a high percentage winning jockey as a trainer who wins 32% of the races in the first race after claiming a horse. I like the 8 as my long shot. The trainer wins 25% of the races when taking a horse from a route to a sprint, and this horse should improve with a shorter distance. As far as the number 5 Maze, that's my alternate pick, and I think the problem there is he'll blast out there and he just might not hold up. So
yeah, if I remember correctly from doing the handicapping, the horse does get out to a front there, and then I think he's finished like double digits off the leader at the wire in that last 2. So I saw that same thing. I'm going to go in this particular spot. It looks like Barry really loves the in race number 3, and I agree with Scary Creations that if you've done the homework and you like a horse, bet it, especially if you have profit in your pocket, right? There's really, at that point, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. In race 3, I like this the 1 horse, Golden Wildcat. This one is my single for the day. So if you don't like the favorite, and this one is a 1-to-1 according to the simulation odds, this one's going to be the favorite. It's the lone maiden special weight to maiden claim dropper in this field, and its Parx numbers are so much better than everybody else's that the rest are either going to have to get better or it's going to have to regress, which is always possible, right? Tequila made me do it. Made me do a lot of things when I drink, but fortunately for the rest of the world, I don't drink anymore. It did tie for the top last race speed figure with improved late pace in 4 consecutive outings. So the horse is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Number 8, LT's Jack in the Box. Well, I forgot to write comments for LT's Jack in the Box. So anyway, we'll move on to number 3, Recluse. Better fractions at 1 mile and 70 yards versus 1 mile in the previous start. Cutting back in the distance should help here, Terry. And I'm going to do $1 double with the 1 here, with the 1, the 3, the 6, and the 7. And like you, that 5 horse was my next choice on the card. Are we getting close to the first race there at what we still? I think they're going to start right about now, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So let's go back to race number 1 and let's see how that works out. Race 1, and they're off. And right now, that 2 horse, as predicted, West Gal has a pretty good lead on everybody else, followed closely by the 6 horse, which is Arrogante. They're heading through the opening quarter 23-3, which quite frankly is a little bit on the slow side. But yet the 6 horses moved down to the rail because the 2 couldn't take that corner tightly. So that's giving that up. The 6 horse looks like right now easy winner to me, Terry. I could be wrong, but it doesn't look good for anybody else. The 1 horse is trying to make a move on the 2. Probably not going to. I mean, it's going to be tight. That 2 horse is really tiring bad. So the 1's definitely going to go by. The question is, can anybody catch a 6? Ain't nobody catching that 6, Terry. It's 6 by about, 8 lengths. Then the 1, you have the 4 coming up on the outside. So it looks like it's going to go 6, 1, 4, 7 in that order. Maybe the 7 gets by the 4.
Well, that's a good start for your pick 3.
Yeah, well, the 6 horse was only 2-1. I mean, I wish it was a little longer odds, but
yeah,
9-2 morning line. So 6, 1, 4, 7.
Yeah,
it's almost exactly backwards. Well, the 7, our top pick, ended up over there.
Huh. Yeah.
Ended up in 4th, but nonetheless, off to the pick start. Let's see how we go forward from here, Terry.
Okay,
I got to turn off Jessica Paquette in my ear. She's getting, I want to say she's getting a lot better. I feel like at calling the races. You can hear her improving. I know early on a lot of folks were down on her, but I hear some improvement, Terry. So hopefully she continues to improve and she can continue living the dream, right?
Yeah, I hope so. Give her a break, people.
Yeah, well, I mean, I understand people, it is what it is in 2023 with the internet. Anybody can say anything, and there's, like Mike Tyson said, with the invention of the internet, people get all too comfortable saying things that they knew if they said to somebody's face, they would probably get punched in the mouth for, right?
Yep.
All right, so let's go ahead. And why do I still hear it? I know I muted it. All right, come on. All right, so race number 4, Terry, 6 furlongs. This one is claiming 12,500. Non-winners of 2 lifetime. The purse is 24 grand. Again, at 6 furlongs, early speed, stay off the rails. Approximately 28% of them, roughly, 24% have gone wire to wire so far. Tell us what you see in terms of the early pace for race number 4. Looks like the 2-horse once again is the one to catch.
Yep, that's the one. That's a speedster again. Just looks like if it gets out there, it could go all the way. But he's actually my 5th pick. So anyway, but you do have a pretty nice overlay on that 5-horse. It's morning line 1.6, and it's actually 8-1 is what it's listed for. And also the 7th has a nice overlay.
So Charles is saying that I know you missed me, but you have my name in place of where Terry should be. Well, I did that on purpose so that you can actually get some winners, Charles. Right now, I can hear the smoke coming out of his ears from all the way from Kentucky as he's going. That guy, if I get my hands on him, he'll never breathe again. All right. So again, the race to the winner's circle. The way this race shape should form up in race number. Did we go through our picks in race number 3, Terry? I don't even remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I talked about it.
All right. Well, I did miss the way to the winner's circle, but in any case, let's look at race number 4. All of these things will be over at horseracingtoday.net in just about 10, 15 minutes after the show ends. So you can see our pay sheets, you can see our picks, you can see our suggested wagers. There's a lot of speed in this race, Terry. The 2, the 3, the 6, and the 1 all have a lot of giddy up and go. Could set up nicely maybe for the 7 that has the top late pace, second best combination of early speed and late speed. But it is well balanced. So if they run reasonable fractions, I feel like the speed can hold, Terry. I mean, that 6-horse was the second one today, and they made easy work of that field. Might have just been the best horse by a long shot, probably the case. But so it looks like maybe speed is holding up a little bit today, Terry. What do you got for race 4?
Well, I have that 6, Be Like Bev. She has an early foot, drops in class today, has a highest.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You're going to go Be Like Bev, and you're just going to go right to why you like the horse.
Yeah.
You're not going to state the obvious?
Well, it's Beth, not Bev.
Oh, I thought you said Bev. All right.
I did, but it's Beth.
All right.
Yeah. So anyway, she has early foot, drops in class today, has the highest speed figure today's distance. Then I like the number 1, God Still Loves Me. She has speed and drops in class today. Number 3 is my 3rd pick, won at last race at Parx Racing, has a good 4 furlong workout on January 10th. And then number 4 is my long shot, finished 3rd versus similar in her last race.
So I love the 4 scarf in this race also. Yeah, likes the 4 in here as well. Terry likes the 4-horse in there too. In case you're wondering what we're talking about, Terry's honey bunny is Bev. When I heard him say Bev, I was like, wait a minute, you're going to go straight to because usually if there's a name in a family member or something like that, it's the first thing that comes out of Terry's mouth. He's always paying honor to his family, and you have to respect the man on that basis alone. Race number 4, I like Be Like Beth as well. Did tie for the top last race speed figure. Taking a small drop in class, was a little better in the last half of its last race. Number 1, God Still Loves Me. We certainly all hope that's the case. It's a pressure horse chasing plenty of early speed, and this one tends to run pretty well fresh off the bench. Number 3, Imagism, went wire to wire in getting the maiden claiming win. Not the biggest fan of horses coming up from maiden claiming the last race out, unless they run the top last race speed figure. And this one did tie for that. Number 7, Yellow Dress, had more interest late in her last 3 outings with the top late pace, and also one that should be close to the front all the way around the track. Scarf was my next pick, the 4-horse that Terry likes and that Barry likes in this spot. I'm going to do a 50-cent pick 4, 1, 3, 6, 7 with the 1, 4, 10, 11. I think that's supposed to be the 12, folks. So forgive me because I try to put the numbers in order. Yes, that's supposed to be the 12. Don't want to get any, but the funny thing is I should probably leave it to 2 because it has that early speed. And then singling up the 7 in race number 6, and then 1, 4, 7 in race number 7, Terry. All right. Let's go on to race number 5. over at Parx in race 5 at Parx. If we take a look at that one, it is, ta-da, 5.5 furlongs, claiming 7,500. Non-winners of 2 lifetime. Purse is 22 grand. 4 5.5 furlong winners. You're typically looking for a horse. Well, at least this year, you would think speed would be the case, but so far the track has favored closers at 5.5 furlongs. Only 5 races so far this year. 4 of the 5 were won from off the pace, and there was so far been a very strong inside 3 bias. I would expect speed at some point, Terry, to take over at this short distance. Let's take a look at what the race shape looks like in terms of early speed. What do you see?
Well, Nana's Bupa, the number 5, looks like it's got a lot of early speed, along with Golden Bow, the 12. And so those 2 should go out, try to get on the lead there. And then most of the rest of them, it looks like to me, are pretty much closers, although there's a couple other speed horses in there. You got an overlay on that number
4, looks like.
4, yeah, 6-1, which is pretty nice. And you got a little bit of an overlay on the 12, but not huge.
Now it looks like a pretty well spread out race here in terms of the odds and what the simulator says. No really stand out. Maybe the 4 horse, another saucy 6. If we look at race number 5 in terms of the race shape, it is a well-balanced race here as well. You see there's plenty of early speed. You got 4 horses in here that have some early speed. 12 horse might be the one that has the most early speed of the E types. On the pressure types, you do find some speed as well with the 6 and the 11. But interestingly, the 11 also has the top late pace. So the 11 should be involved from gate to wire. On the closers, it looks like the 2 has the most late punch of the ones that want to come from back to front. Who's going to be at the front when it's all over, Terry?
Well, I think number 12, Golden Bow, will. She has got a high percentage winning jockey, drops in class today. Then that 11 you talked about ran second versus Tougher in her last race and drops in class today. Number 4 is my next pick, another saucy 6. She's has the highest speed figure today's distance and the best start speed is among her today's starters. And then that closer you referred to, number 2, is my long shot, drops in class today and has the highest speed figure today's distance.
I have a horse in here you don't have that makes me nervous. Number 1, Cash on First. Went wire to wire in its last race with the top last race speed figure. Again, that was the maiden claiming score. Again, I'm only a big fan of maiden claiming risers when they do run the top last race speed figure. But what's interesting to me is the horse has a bullet workout on January the 10th after that race. That tells me Cash on First has found its form. Number 11, Rose Legacy, does have the top late pace and the best early pace, late pace combination and should be involved from go to photo. So I think that one's going to be close. Should get a good trip. Number 12, Golden Bow, is the biggest class dropper along with the 2 horse in here. It's going to be the 3rd start after a layoff for Rose Legacy, our good friend Charles' favorite handicapping angle. The last time out, and the only other time that this horse had a 3-race cycle, it was the best race of the 3-race cycle and a win. And then finally, number 4, another saucy mix. Simulation says this one is got a lot of value here. So let's go ahead and put it in our picks. I'm going to do a 50-cent try. 1, 11, 12, over to 1, 11, over to 1, 4, 10, 11, and 12, Mr. Terry. Let's catch up on I was going to say let's catch up on the comments, but it's just the perverts. Let's see. You know, and the funny thing about those spammers that do the X-rated stuff, you can block a lot of people, but you can't block them for some reason. They have some software.
Oh, wow.
Worried about the distance for the number 1. Yeah, 1 at 1.70 now running 5.5. Not sure. Yeah, I agree with you. I had a little concerns about it too, but I felt like the bullet workout coming off its best race. It's been something I've noticed going through all of these races every day when we do this is just going through my notes over and over and over again just to see like who won and what I wrote and kind of keeping track of what's working and what's not. And I have just found that horses that have a good race and then they follow it up with a really good workout or even a little bit better than average workout, those horses tend to do well the next race too. That's why I put it in there. We'll see if it works out that way. Race number 6, Terry, on the Parx card as we work our way through this MLK Monday. Hope everybody enjoys their day off. 5.5 furlongs, claiming 5,000. Non-winners of one in a year. The purse is 18 grand. Again, 5.5 furlongs so far. There's been a strong inside bias. It's favored closers, though I do expect speed at some point will be the way. If it is the way today in race number 6, Terry, it looks like it's going to be inside and out, barbell for the front spot.
That's right. Those are the two front runners, the speed horses. So they're probably going to break out on top, see who can get to the lead. And then, of course, you got a little bit of an overlay with that one horse, and might come out. But another overlay is the 5. It's supposed to be morning line.
Morning line's 3-1.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't really know if it'll stay 3-1 though. It might not stay there. So
yeah, it looks like maybe 8-5 might be fairer odds for the 5 horse there. So if you're looking for value and the 5 horse is above 8-5, could be a good value play according to our simulations. Looking at race number 6, race shape, this is one where you have a lot of horses that want to pull the string. The 1, the 4, the 5, and the 6. The 1 and the 4 do have, of the E-types, the most early speed. Interestingly, the 5 horse has the most late pace in this race. So if he can stay close, well, a lot of time the E-types, if they don't get the front, they get a little bit upset and kind of fold. 7 horse is a left arrow horse, a closer with enough giddy up and go when the gates open to be a factor. And what's interesting here is you have this lone 2, Terry. A lot of times these lone horses, whether they look good on paper or not, they just get great trips. And when they do, they factor in at the end. Did you factor the 2 at the end of your picks, Terry? Neither one of us did.
I do not. No. I like the number 5 as my top pick. Ran second in the last race. Has the highest speed, highest last race speed rating, and the best start speed is fast as monk to beat starters. Then I like the 6. She finished 3rd versus similar in her last race. Number 7 is my 3rd pick. She has the highest height speed figure at today's distance. And then the long shot for me would be number 1, Call Me Jelly Roll. Finished 2 thirds in a row, looking to try to make it all the way.
I don't know what I was thinking in this race, Terry. In race number 6, I have the 7, Miss Crew, as my top pick. Morning line is 8-1. Sim odds are 15-1. 32% chance it gets to the lead. Had a major uptick in its 2 and 4 furlong pace numbers, and I've singled this 8-1 in my pick 4. So if it can hit, it should be pretty nice. Number 5 could make me regret singling that 7 with Fed Policy. Did run the top last race. Speed figure, much better pace in that last race. But at Parx, this horse has run 32 times, Terry, and he's got one more win than you and I do. Number 1, Call Me Jelly Roll. I was getting there, but I started exercising, so I'm away from that now. But a big chance to take lead here, and it is the horse that does have the best opportunity, in my opinion, to go wire to wire. And then finally, number 3, tough call over the 6, but she is 7 races at Parx, with a win and a 3rd, whereas the 6 has been out at Parx 7 times with just a 2nd and a 3rd. So I slightly prefer the 3 in that spot. No bets for me here either, Terry, because I probably should have bet, though, with that 7 horse being 8-1 morning line. See, in race number 6, I like Wicked Jane, the 3 horse, 2 times at this level, ran some goodie races, good jockey. So that is in race number 6, right? Yeah, Wicked Jane. 4-5 morning line, 5-1 according to the simulation. So getting perfect odds. Maybe if the horse drifts up a little bit better. A great one for those tournaments where I find a lot of time in those online tournaments, not necessarily the ones that you play for live money. A lot of winners pick a horse that's 3rd or 4th on the morning line odds, and its odds drift higher, which takes that horse then, from 5-1 to 10-1, and then they get the big payouts. Race 7 is a 1 mile, 70-yard race, claiming 10,000 non-winners of one in a year. Purse $28,000, Terry. And at 1 mile and 70 yards, early speed, 38% so far in 2023 have gone wire to wire. That's a pretty good bias there. There has been a strong rail bias, post 2 and 3, play a little bit under par. 4 through 7, you get a little bump of over par. And then 8 and out, there is a little bit of a penalty, Terry. And in race number 7, where speed is a factor, it does look like the horse that had the most speed is on the sideline. So that opens the door for French Toast.
That's right. That 2 got scratched. And so French Toast has the most speed, it appears, along with the number 1 horse, Social Group. And so those 2 will be trying to go out there to get it. It looks like you're going to get you could get an overlay on the 4-horse. The 3-horse, which is 3 to 1. Time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, so maybe 1 to 2 could be. I mean, that's a real big drop in odds right there.
It is.
In race number 7, you have a very balanced race. I think some horses could benefit from this 2-horse scratching out. The primary beneficiary could be the 4, which I think is French Toast. Now it becomes the lone speed in this race. And again, as I mentioned, I've seen too many lonees take the lead and never give them up. But if speed's going to be the way, it's going to be the one who also has a 6-point early pace, late pace combination advantage. Again, start closing in on 10. It's a must bet in your picks. Quick question for you, Terry. Are you a French Toast guy or are you a pancakes guy?
Pancake guy.
Pancake guy.
Every day.
You have pancakes every day?
No, but if I was going to have something every day, that'd be it over the French Toast. Never did care much for French toast.
You're not big on the French Toast. All right.
Nope.
So who do you like in this race? Right? You dislike French Toast so much you didn't even put them in your picks.
I like number 7, Skillful. He drops in class today, has a good 4-furlong workout on January 10th. Number 3, it's Game Time. He's got a high percentage winning jock. He drops in class today, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And then number 5, Big Beautiful Wall, has a good trainer, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. He's actually tied with the 3. And then number 1 is my long shot Social Group, and French Toast is my 5th pick. But I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 5, and I'm going to go with 3 and the 7 in the first leg, 5, 6, 10 in the second leg, the 2, 9 in the third leg, and then the fourth leg, the 4. And then let me just make sure. I think
it looks like you're missing a leg or you're missing a dash somewhere there.
I know. It's actually the 6 in the 4th race. 10th race. And then
so you have a single in there.
Yeah. And then in the last race, let me look here.
So you got the 6 singled like that. So that's the way it's supposed to look.
Yes, that's
3, 7 in this leg in race number 7. Race number 8, 5, 6, 10. Race number 9, the 2, 9, race number 10, the 6, and then in the last leg, 1, 2, 5, 7, 8, 9. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right.
Yep.
The beautiful thing about these Google Sheets is we can edit them on the fly, Terry, which is a big plus. We can help eliminate mistakes, quality control right in real time. Well, you might not like French Toast, Terry, but I like French Toast. And for me, it's a toss-up. I can eat either one. I do think this one's the likely pace setter with the 2 scratched out of here. And last time out, this horse was 2 seconds faster than it was in the previous race at the same distance. So that's a horse that's on the upswing to me. Number 1, Social Group, won its last race by 10 lengths, has the top late pace, and has a 6-point early pace, late pace advantage over this field. And another one with the 2 scratching that's likely to be more forward. Number 7, Skillful, sizable drop in class and really strong workout on January the 10th. And finally, it's Game Time, down in class, potentially stepping forward in its second start off a layoff. And I'm going to do a $1 50-cent trifecta, the 1, 4 over the 1, 4, 7 over the 1, 3, 4, 5, and 7. And to be fair, Terry, since you got that pick 5 out there, if I'm going to miss a bet today, I hope this is the one that I miss so that you can be alive in your pick 4.
That'd be nice. Or pick 5.
Pick 5, excuse me. Yes. Yeah. Well, you only had 4 races in there, so that's what confused me.
It's
not hard to confuse me, Terry. We've learned that over the time.
It's easy to confuse me. I'll tell you that right now.
Race 8 is 6 furlongs, claiming 10,000. Non-winners of 1 in a year. The purse is $28,000 again for 6 furlongs. Speed usually does okay, about 25% go wire to wire. The rail struggles a little bit, so kind of be cautious if you like the rail horse. And in race number 8, it looks like the early speed with 2 scratches. Kate's Golden Dude is out. Texas Basin. Doesn't look like either one of them are going to be a part of the front runners, but it looks like this can be competitive when the doors fly open.
It sure can be, because that number 1 horse, the number 5 horse, the number 8, and 9 all have speed. The number 4 horse has more speed, it appears, but just never know. Whoever gets the best break should do well. So, and you got a pretty nice overlay on that 6 horse and on the 4. So, and also, well, the 2 is scratched now.
Yeah, the 2 is scratched. So it does look to me like you get a little bit of value maybe on the 4 Federal Case. Also has that early speed, and neither one of us have them. That could be concerning. I found that these last few races were the most difficult. That's why I concentrated most of my bigger bets on the early part. And in race number 8, our early speed and our race shape layout, the 2 horse is out. Again, kind of bunched up front here. A lot of pressure horses, a lot of speed horses. The 4, the 6, the 5, they're all going to get at it when the gates open, as we mentioned in our simulations. Plenty of early speed here. Could favor horses that want to come from off the end. The 10 horse really looked like it had a nice advantage back here as the lone closer with late pace, the most late pace. I think this race is fairly wide open, Terry, based upon the race shape. How do you lay them out at the end?
Yeah, it is wide open. I started with the 5 Hard West. He ran second versus similar last race, and in his last 2 races, he's ran third, winning the third 3 races back. And then I like number 10, Texas Basin.
10's out.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Number 6, Satchel and Riches. He finished third versus similar in his last race. So I would take and he has a good jockey. So number 7 would now go up to be my 3rd pick, which is
who's going to be your 4th?
4th pick is going to be number 8, Pylon.
Pylon. All right.
So
we'll go back to race number 8. Now we got that all squared away.
Okay.
And then in this race back here, you did have the 6 horse in there. So you want to switch that to the. Oh no, you didn't have the 10 in there. You do have the 10 in there.
Yeah,
so
I want to.
What do you want to switch that out to?
To the 7.
To the 7. So 5, 6, and 7. Again, let me just double check to make sure that Texas Basin in race number 8 is out. I usually, let's see. Yes, indeed, Texas Basin is out. So we did get that correct. And all right, good. So I'm glad that we caught that as well. So that way, when that horse that you just subbed in for comes in as the winner, we'll be grateful that we got it right.
Yeah, that's right.
Real quick for me in race number 8, before race number 2 kicks off, I like number 9, Captain Chaz, jockey Jeremy Laprida and trainer Alfredo Velasquez. Don't run many together so far this year, 7 of them, but they won 4 of them. That's a pretty good number. So looks like Mr. Velasquez, if he's got a winner, calls Laprida's jockey agent and says he's going to ride this one. Number 5, Hard West. 3 really good races in a row, more endurance in its last race. So I'm expecting another good one from the 5 horse, Hard West. Number 1, Lazaretto, tied for the top last race speed figure after showing improved pace from the beginning to the middle of the end. And quite possibly better in the classic 3rd start off the layoff. Again, Charles's favorite handicapping angle. Number 6, Satchel de Riches, 3 consecutive speed figure increases, has enough early pace to be involved from the jump. And it was really a tough call for me over that 4 Federal Case, which was my next pick in there. Let's quickly jump back to race number 2, Terry, for our picks. I do have a pick 4, starting off with the 2, the 7, the 10. Got a single the 1 in race number 3, 1, 3, 6, 7 with the 1, 4, 10, 11, and 12 to close it out. They are just about ready to line up, it looks to me like, in race number 2 at Parx. They are lined up. So let's take a look and see how this race plays out. Again, according to our speed map, it looks like the 2 horse Bar on the Beach and Dat Hoss, those 2 should be the ones that everyone's chasing in the beginning. And then as far as price is concerned, that 7 horse looks like it's a pretty good value. Right now it is 5-2. Fair odds are closer to 8-5. 2 horse, 4-5 morning line says fair odds are a little bit higher at about 35-1. So 7 might be a little bit better bet if you win better than the 2 horse, who are the 2 co-favorites right now. And let's see what happens in race number 2, Terry. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
And they're off. The 2 horse kind of jumped coming out of the gate, but he's still involved early. Looks like that 8 horse is the one that's actually going to get to the lead. Maybe no. There goes the 2 coming up, and he's taking a commanding lead. Oh my Lord. He just ran right by everybody, Terry. He's at least a length and a half ahead of everybody, maybe 2 lengths right now, that 2 horse. So absolutely the speed playing just like our sheet said it would. This race is 6 furlongs, and he goes to the opening quarter in 22-3, followed by the 7 horse, then the 1 at 60-1. So I hope you have Heated Battle in your picks. I don't know that Heated Battle is going to be able to close that ground. It looks to me like it's the 2 and the 7. The 7 is definitely making its move on the 2. So I would say right about now, it looks like it's either the 7 or the 2. Got the 10 horse, probably going to, the 7 just rolled right by the 2 horse. So it's going to go 7. 7's going to be an easy winner. The question is who's going to finish second or third. Looks like the 8 horse right now is in there, but the 10 horse is making the move. The 2 horse is absolutely going to fade on us a little bit here, Terry. So 7 is a dominant winner, Terry's top pick.
All right.
It's going to be followed by the 10 horse. Oh, no, is that what the hell is that? 5 horse? I can't tell what that. I think that is the 10 horse. And then the 3. So 7, 10, 3. And we had that. If you had played that trifecta, we had that there too. So, and you know what's interesting about that, Terry? Right before the race popped off, you did mention that the 7 horse was fair value at 8-5, went off at 5-2, I think. Is that right? Or
wow.
Well, the odds came down to 9-5. So fair value on that 7 horse, easy winner. Starting to pick 4 off. And if you had boxed the 4 picks here, I think you would have had the trifecta. And the 10 horse went off at 7-1, and the 3 horse went off at 7-1. And with the other favorite running out of the money, race number 2 could pay all right.
That should be great.
All right, so we're off to race number 9, I think now, right?
Yeah.
All right, so in race number 9, we are going to run. Let me pull this up here. Just make sure we got everything correct. Race number 9, 1 mile and 70 yards. This one's an allowance, $8,000. Purse is $30,000 again. At a mile and 70 yards, Early Speed has played well in 2023. Early Speed is dominating the track in the first 2 races, Terry. Those horses are running away at the end. 38% at a mile and 70 yards have gone wire to wire. There has been a strong rail bias. 2 and 3, a little bit under par. 4 through 7, a little bit over par. 8 and out definitely have struggled a little bit. In race number 9, if we look at the way the race shape, the early pace sets up again, the 2 horse looks like it's the one to catch, and maybe some value in that one too, Terry.
It sure does. It's gut value too. Yeah, that it was hard for me to decide on the 9, between the 9 and the 2. A little bit hard, but then you see my 9. I like that 9 a lot. The 9 beat that 2 the last time they faced each other, and you're going to get a little bit of an overlay on that 9 if the odds stay the way they're stated here. So
could indeed get an overlay on that 9 in race number. Well, 9 in race 9. I'm sure out there some numerologists will tell us why that matters. You do have the 5 horse out here. Could be fake speed, one that likes to get to the front and win, but you always got to be cautious if they do get out to the front, because they can get brave and carry on. The 2 and the 9, the 2 horses Terry mentioned, they do look to me like they have the most early speed, and they both have the best early pace and late pace. So I think this race is between the 2 and the 9, Terry. You picked the 9. I picked the 2. Tell us why you picked the 9.
Well, the 9 has won 2 out of, or actually, think 3 out of the last 4 races, finishing winning the last race, and has the highest speed figure at today's distance. And her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. Now, the 2 is a fast filly. She ran second, though, in her last race, but she's always in the mix. She's in the last 10 races been in the money. So my third pick is number 4, won her last race and has the highest last speed rating in the race. And then I like number 6 as my long shot. She won her last race at Parx Racing. And then I'm going to make a big bet here. I'm going to bet 50 to win on the 9.
Well, Terry, I have the 2 first, but I do think the 2 and the 9. And again, I'm going to be pulling for that 9 to beat the 2. Won't really much matter to me. Going back 1 race to race number 8, Scary Creations does mention that combination with the 9 horse Captain Chaz with Jeremy Lapita in the jockey trainer combination last 60 days. 43% winners, and they've done pretty well. All wins for the trainer came with his jockey. So I guess when he has a horse that can win, they reach out to them. Charles in race number 9, he agrees with us. The 2 and the 9 are the horses to beat. Race 10, ice cold exacta. We'll get to race 10 when we get to race 10, Charles. Quit being pushy, my man. Keep us on schedule. Don't confuse me even more, Charles. I like the 2 horse, this one, Dilly Dilly Philly. just got to like to say that name. 3 consecutive speed figure increases in a row. Going to make it 4. That flips the roles with the 9-horse. Trainer Jamie Ness hits a 30% going sprint to route. That's why it will beat the 9 this time around, but I hope not for Terry's $50 win bet. And we've seen so far, get to the front. He's going to be hard to beat you, at least if you're second anyway. Number 9, Obstinate, Terry's $50 horse. No question, she is in form, as you mentioned, winning 2 out of the last 3. And one that likes the distance 15 times out, 5 wins, 3 seconds, and 2/3. Number 6, Luli's Dancer. The last time it raced in October, it won by 11 lengths in its only Parx start, as it really could work out on January the 3rd. So I think that one could be a danger to both of us, Terry, and Charles as well. Yeah. Number 4, Bonita Lassie. I'm not the biggest fan of pen transfers at all, but I'm a big fan of our good friend, Tyler Connor. And this is the right distance if the pen horse is going to come into Parx and perform. 15 times out, 5 wins, 3 seconds, and 3/3. 50-cent trifecta for me, the 2, the 6. You know, I'm going to switch it around here, Terry. Instead of going 2-9, I am a little worried about that 6. I'm going to go 2-6-9 with the 2-9. They both can't finish first, right?
That's right.
One has to finish second. So I'm going to go 2-6-9 with the 2-9 with the 2, 3, 4, 6, and 9. And that is my bet for race number 9. Off to race number 10. Terry, let's take a look and see what we're going to do in race 10. Race 10 is 6.5 furlongs. It is an optional claiming for $25,000. Optional claiming at 25 grand. Terry, you're looking for horses that do have a little bit of early pace. 42% so far, in fact, have gone wire to wire, but no winners from the rail. 2 through 7 have performed slightly under par, and all of the action has come from 8 and out. If our speed chart is anything, well, there's a lot of scratches here, Terry. So there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 horse race right now. The one that had the most speed is going to be gone. So it looks like that option is going to fall now to the 7 or the 10. Gotta love that name, Crazy Serena. I wonder what that's all about.
Yeah, I don't know, but you're going to get a pretty darn good underlay on that number 6 horse, especially with all these scratches. Might end up being the favorite. The only speed horse really with a lot of speed got scratched. The 7's got a little bit of speed, and also the 10's got some speed. So,
yeah, I don't have the 6 horse in my picks. It's kind of interesting to me because we have all these scratches, and yet somehow we have very little overlap, which tells me a little bit about this race. And this is one that when I looked at it on paper, I honestly thought just about any horse could win this race. And that's why I kind of avoided the pick 4 and pick 5 in the back end because of this race. I couldn't really settle on anything. So I wouldn't be shocked to see any of these horses win.
No, I wouldn't either, I'll tell you the truth.
And you do see the scratches in here and how they impact the race. So you got all of this speed that was a part of this race. Just hold on a second. Who's missing in this race? Let me undo what I just did there. Got to make sure I got the 4 and the 5 are out. Got to make sure I got that right. So that's speed out of this race. The 3 is out. The 9 is out. The 1 has a tremendous late pace. And I think all the speed scratching probably moves this horse forward, Terry. And with that strong late pace advantage could definitely be one that's very difficult to pass. And this 2 horse now and this 10 horse both should benefit because there's really not a lot of competition out of the gates. I don't know if I'm going to go with Crazy Serena or Uptown Girl. I did pick the 2 horse, Terry, in that group because of the speed. What do you got?
I've got the 6 Rolls Royce Joyce. She won her last race, and she has a trainer jockey combination who's finished in the money 3 out of 4 starts in the last 14 days, winning 2 of those. Number 1, Jezebel Jade ran second versus Sooner her last race. And then number 8, my 3rd pick. The shorter distance will help, I believe. And then my long shot is the number 3 horse. Let me get to here. Baby Fade. She won.
No, you have the 8 horse. 3 horses scratched.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, so you have Pegasus and Flight. You even have that on the screen there.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the Pegasus and Flight was my 3rd pick. Mm-hmm. And then my long shot's going to be the 10 then.
So you have 6, 1, 5. Okay, so here's where we're messed up. So the 5 scratched out of here. So all right, so you have 6, 1, 8, and 10. Is that right?
Yeah.
And 6, 1, 8, and then 10.
10.
All right.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
righty. So let me go ahead and correct that. In race number 10 for me, I have the 2-horse as my top selection. Uptown, our Uptown Girl at Parx, 9 times out, 2 wins, 4 seconds. On a fast track, 7 times out, 2 wins, 4 seconds. And a nice work on January the 9th. Jezebel Jade has that plus 10-point late pace edge. Going to be rolling late in the 3rd race off the break. And quite frankly, with all the scratches, I don't think it's going to be all that far from the front. Number 8, Pegasus in Flight is the lone pressure closer type in here. Should get a decent trip at Parx. 5 times out, 1 win, 1 second, 2 thirds. You got to respect, and I think it's the first time we brought this up today, Jamie Ness and Ruben Silvera. And then finally, number 7, officially fast. Is it Jaime Rodriguez coming in to run for Jamie at Parx? When those two get together, they win at 27%. Was a tough call over Terry 6 for me. I'm going to do a 50-cent try, 128 over the 1-2, over the 1-2, 6, 7, 8, and probably regret not having Crazy Serena in the back end of that bet. But I am limited by budget, so I can't spend more than I have, Terry.
That's right.
And then final race of the day is race number 11. This one is a mile and a 16th on that main track. They're going to be running for quite a while, but typically early speed has won the 4 races. In fact, 2 of them have gone wire to wire. Got 1 winner from post 2 and 3, 1 from 4 through 7, 2 from 8 and out. So it looks like these longer races, Terry, absolutely benefit horses on the outside. Looking at the race shape on the outside, just 11, just the thought, the 11 horse does have that speed.
Sure does. Yeah, got a lot of speed, although there's a couple others in there can contest that. The 2 large, which I like the inside post, and then you got the 9 and a little bit for the 7 too. And then you're going to get an overlay on looks like on the 12 horse would be nice overlay. So
looking there, Rockin' Race is that South African track, ran inside strongly, have a little bit of a drain effect. It could be. It did rain last night at Park, so that's not in South Africa. No. That one is in Philadelphia, Ben Salem, PA. Hey, race number 2. No, I forgot in race number 10 that our Charles wanted an ice cold 1-6.
Oh, wow.
Exacta. So back in race number 10, I have the one. He's in your computer again, Terry. He just wants to reverse things to make it look like he's got his own ideas.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So
in race 11, the last time we're going to look at the race shape again. The 4 horses out. This is a race that everybody kind of wants to be middle back. So you have all of these horses here that are either pressure or closing types. The 6 and the 10 are the 2 that should be on the front. 6 does have the most early speed, or the 9. 12 also has a little bit of early speed, my famous left arrow horse, and has the best early speed, late pace combination. Again, this last leg to me, Terry, much like the previous race, I think any horse can win it. Which one do you think will get the job done?
Yeah, I think it's a really wide open race. And I like number 2 large as my top pick. Ran 2nd versus similar last race. And then number 1 finished 3rd versus similar his last race. And then the number 7, my brother Neil, finished 3rd versus similar in his last race also. And I like the number 8, Commissioner Dave, as my long shot. He also finished 3rd. He's a deep closer, so he'll be coming at the end there.
To close out the Parx card, I like my brother Neil. Has a workout between races. And this goes back to what we talked about before, Scary Creations. Horse coming off a decent race, gets a good workout. So I look back in the past workout lines. The last time the horse had a similar pattern, decent race, worked out, next race came back to win. So I think that's what the trainer's trying to do here, to repeat that pattern. So my brother Neil tries to get that done for a 2nd time in a row. Number 10, Singing Through the Storm. This one, I'm going to take a little bit of a flyer here with a horse that has 3 consecutive speed figure increases, was better across the board, early pace, mid pace, late pace. And again, 3rd start off, filet off. Number 9, Instant Chaos, 1 for 1 at the distance. 1-2 back when it was really close to the front. Should get a similar trip today based upon the race shape. So I'm going to look to repeat that race 2 races back. And then He's So Subtle, that one horse. I really wanted to put him higher like Terry, but the track today is fast. And if you look at the horse's success, almost all of it has come exclusively on an off track, though the form and the numbers and say it's kind of hard to leave it out of your picks. I'm going to do a 50-cent trifecta, 7, 9, 10 with the 7, 10 with the 1, 7, 9, 10, 12 to close. Probably going to regret not having that 11 horse in there. That looks like a pretty good value as well. That wraps up all of our picks today for Parx. Terry, quick look at all of our picks here again for the entire Parx card. Take a look at that. Take out your pens, papers, write it down. Of course, if you like what you saw today, Terry, what should folks do?
They should subscribe on YouTube and give us a thumbs up. Hit the little bell on there. Then they should also go to Facebook,
Horse Race Today,
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and get to us on Horse Race to number 2 day, and like us on all of those. So it helps us out.
Another thing you can do too to help us out is there's a link in the description down below to our Horse Racing Today shop. Go out there and pick yourself up a nice hoodie. Although it's been kind of a warm weather this year, I have this one, very comfortable, looks good too. I like it, keeping its shape. If you're going to bet Laurel Park today, it is the free track over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Again, a link down in the description below. Good track, fast track. I like Laurel. Again, we talking to TJ Acquire, he said over at Laurel, if you see Brittany Russell, you might want to bet that horse. He's made a lot of money that way in race number 1. Hot Looking Royal. I wonder which one they're talking about, Megan or the other one. I forget her name right now. Kate. But anyway, the Hot Looking Royal is absolutely a best bet in there for the first race. Another way you can support the show, there is a link. Well, actually, it's a good friend of the show. There's a link down there for winning touches. If you have a horse racing enthusiast in your family, or you're a horse racing enthusiast and you're looking for like a hard to find gift or one that you like, there's a link down below to winning touches. Go over there, take a look at some of the stuff. She's got a lot of great stuff in her shop. You can see a wide variety of things from the oldest person in your family to the youngest person in your family. I think you'll like a lot of what you see in there, Terry. And then again, tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, make sure you tune in to catch Deshaun Parker with Julie and Sean. If you have any questions for Deshaun, make sure you head up into the comments section and let him know. Tomorrow, Terry and I will be back, same time. We're going to do Parx, hopefully. Terry's able to hold his power throughout the night and into the morning. Wednesday, I'll be back with good Charles. We're going to go through Gulfstream. Thursday, we'll go through Aqueduct. And our good friend, we thought he'd be off a little bit longer, Thomas. We'll be back on Friday for Foreign Fridays. I think we're going to do Randwick down in Australia. And then not quite sure what we'll do Saturday, but we'll look at those big races. I think the Lecomte Stakes this is weekend. So we'll probably do Fairgrounds because that's where that's at. And that wraps it up. Terry, any final thoughts before we get up and get out of here today?
Yeah, I'm just hoping this weather, I guess we got another storm coming in tonight or this afternoon, but I'm hoping the weather here on the West Coast gets better, as well as the weather in the east there and the Southwest, all of the weather, because the storms are coming through here. They keep going down and bothering you guys. I guess you're getting chilly rain this today, aren't you, Rich? They say.
I don't know. I'm locked in my basement, Terry. Monday, from Sunday through like Thursday, I'm locked into my basement for like 14, 15 hours a day trying to do all the different things we do. Thanks, Gary. We appreciate it. We appreciate your opinions as well. So good luck to you. Of course, good luck to everybody, no matter where you're betting today, no matter what you're doing to celebrate MLK Day. We hope that your day, your picks, and everything that you do ends up in our good friend Jay Marco's
Winner's Circle.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us, Terry. Looking forward tonight to being back with you tomorrow and tackling Parx again. Have a great day.